Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am now outside of the parking lot at the gym already. I was feeling I had too much things to do this morning, so I didn't do the fun opening bit of me turning on the light, walking into the kitchen, saying good morning, and then getting my day started. Too much stuff to do, and I had to get ready for the gym, so we're here. Now, unfortunately, I do have to work today, and at least I have tomorrow off, so I have that to look forward to. Also have Friday off, and that's Good Friday, so I'm going to train legs that day because Friday is leg day. But I recorded a video yesterday, but I realized it was way too depressing, so I wound up deleting the whole thing, and we're starting from scratch today. A lot of it is burnout related. You could just straight up see it on my face where I'm just like not wanting to do anything. I was dreading going into work. I had to do, well, not really had to, but my friend and I, we were doing a little bit of a rehearsal for a short film we're making with our other friend, and you could just straight up see on my face that I was not happy at all. And I think a lot of it is just because I am still very much burning out, even though I'm desperately trying. It's like, because the job recently, even though, like I said, there's nothing garbage about having a job, but they've lately been putting more responsibility on me over and over and over again, and they're also not increasing my pay for that added responsibility. And I've just been getting strung out, trying to deal with that, trying to deal with the men's physique prep, working on videos, acting training, all that stuff. And it's just, I thought at a certain point I would get to the wall and then push past it, but it's like, it's not going away. We'll see how it all plays out in the end, because I'm not really feeling that okay anymore about any of it. Right now, this is me venting again, and I'm just gonna go to the gym. So, quick update. I'm not going to talk about work anymore on this channel, because if it's burning me out that much, that even talking about it can stress me out. It's going to be gone. I'm not talking about work. I'm just going to talk about things that are enjoyable for me. Unless I'm just trying to vent a frustration about something, I'm going to keep work talk to a minimum, because clearly even talking about it makes me strung out and stressed out. And I don't want that on this channel. I want this channel to be motivational and optimistic. And come hell or high water, I'm going to do that, because I don't want to just motivate myself, but I want to motivate everyone who's watching these videos. And yes, the Stanley cameo of my clothing bag is still back there. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the gym in a moment. Pew. One thing I've been thinking about a little bit is I'm hoping I'm not trying to use my job as a scapegoat for being burned out, because there's a lot going on lately, and the job is the easiest thing to quote unquote blame for feeling stressed, feeling burned, all that stuff. With all the goals I have this year, fitness magazine, men's physique, getting my acting career more off the ground, the job, it feels like sometimes an easy thing to blame for trying to move forward, because I do love the people I work with. And there are, like I said, there are still things that while working that I feel as though sometimes gets a little overwhelming, a little stressful while there. But I just hope I'm not using the job in of itself to blame for all the things that are stressing me out lately, because it's been a lot. You know what I mean? Because when I'm actually, on the forklift getting things done, I feel fine, I feel great. But then as soon as I have to get off to help with something else, that's when things kind of get burning out and stressing out from the work, because I do love just the labor side of the job and not, doing a bunch of the other mumbo jumbo that has to get taken care of throughout the day. Like I said, once I'm on that forklift, I feel fine. I feel great, putting in an honest day's work. But outside of that, that's when the burnout starts to actually kick in from the job. So when I say I hope I'm not using the job as a scapegoat for why I'm feeling constantly stressed out, I do feel burned out when there at times, but it's not the only thing that is causing me to be in this kind of mental drain state. And even Gierke agrees, as you can tell. But outside of that, though, I record these audio logs for the workouts after I've already finished the whole video for the day. So this is a very much a post-training reflection, post-recording reflection of what I thought of throughout my workout, what I thought of after I left the gym, and after the whole day has been wrapped up, including the final video I recorded. And I just want everyone to know I am grateful to have a job, because having a job is important. It's how we put food on the table. It's how we build camaraderie with other employees and workers and other people who put in an honest day's work. And like Penn Jillette said in his show Penn and Teller's BS, there's nothing BS about having a job. And I'm always going to be grateful to have one, and I'm always going to put in the grind when I'm there, no matter what. So I'm done at the gym now. I am at the apartment getting ready for work. And one thing I need to always remember while making these videos and being on the grind is never feeling sorry for myself. Now, obviously, a lot of things in life can be stressful. They can cause like misery, anxiety, depression, sadness, all that stuff. But I have to remember that the goal I want is not an easy one, and it's going to take time to get there. And I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'd rather deal with the struggle and achieve something than just get what I want whenever I want. While I will always say that now, at least, I'm not completely happy with where I am at my job. I still love the people I work with. I'm always going to put in the effort. I'm always going to try hard there. I'm always going to take pride in my work, come heck or high water. Because that's a part of growing as a person, is to always, even if other people don't appreciate you for your job or appreciate the work you put in at your job, you got to appreciate yourself for putting that effort and work in. Now, it can get stressful and you can get taken advantage of, but always remember to stand tall and stand proud while you're putting on that grind. Now, at moments, we all need to learn to set a boundary and say, hey, this is too much. I can't deal with this. Please, can we come up with a compromise or a negotiation to where we lighten the load a little bit and then work on it a little bit more piece by piece, as opposed to trying to just get one person to do all things at once. That's a conversation that sometimes needs to happen. It's a hard conversation to have because a lot of us don't want to ever come off as weak or I'll just stick with weak. I can't think of another word. We always want to be seen as a very, very, very high quality individual, and we are. Don't ever think you're not a high quality worker if you're feeling burnt out or strung out or stressed out or anything like that, because it's going to happen to all of us. It's still happening to me. Like I said, I'm not over that burnout yet. I don't know if I ever will be until I achieve what I want to achieve. But don't be afraid to talk to people at work. And you know what? Sometimes the ending isn't going to be happy. Some work environments are like that, and I get that. But if you can, be willing to talk to your coworkers, be willing to talk to your managers, and just say, hey, look, I'm feeling really strung out. I feel as though my responsibilities are exceeding what my capabilities are. Can we work on this and figure out a solution? Because like Thomas Sowell says, there are no solutions, only trade-offs, even though I just said come up with a solution, even though technically a trade-off can be a solution. So don't be scared to ask for help. As I said before in a previous video, if you need to ask for help, do it. There's no shame in asking for help. We all need every now and again, whether it be from our friends, from our family, and in this case, coworkers. Don't be scared to ask for help. Don't be scared to sometimes put your foot down and say, hey, I feel as though I'm being asked a little too much for what I'm getting in return. Like I said, sometimes that will not lead to a happy outcome, but you gotta shoot that shot every now and again. But anyways, the weather was nice this morning, like really nice, and it already looks like it's about to rain again. Like I said, Pennsylvania, we get all 4 seasons in one day, so I think we're on to the borderline winter blizzard again, even though it's the middle of spring. Anyways, I'm gonna chug this tea. I'll catch you guys after work. Peace. By the way, I do have a tripod. It's just in the kitchen. I can't get this good of angles if I'm not using a cabinet, so stop judging me. I'm home. Don't worry, it's not a coffee with cocoa in it. It's actually just a healthier hot chocolate. Try to get as minimal sugar in it as possible. Hence why vanilla extract and a sugar-free creamer. And it actually does taste pretty good. So, I'm home from work. And you know what? It wasn't that bad of a day. It started out kind of rough, but as the day went on, I got to interact with my supervisor a little bit, so things went decently well today, if I do say so myself. But outside of work, though, because we're here to have some fun, what was something I was thinking about? Now, I actually started reading again, and not just, study books, as in my Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding or on the technique of acting. I am now reading through the Dune books. Yes, I'm already this deep into it, and no, this wasn't in one thing. I've been reading this for a little bit now, so this isn't like me one day and then bada bing boom, we're there. Now, what made me want to start reading the Dune books? Because I know they're making that Dune Messiah movie sometime soon. And as a fan of Timothy Chalamet myself, I figured why not get caught up on some of the stuff that he's involved in literarily, if that's a way to put it. Because I think it'd be a fun way to read more And he was also in that Bob Dylan movie, like I said, A Complete Unknown, which I actually now have. So I'm going to check that out sometime soon. And I don't know, it inspired me to just get a little bit more books in, not just... Because if I read any more educational stuff, I was probably going to go insane, because I've been reading so much educational stuff recently that, whether it be history, political, economic, fitness, theater, all that, while all of it is important to read and understand, I wasn't reading anything fun for it. I know for a lot of people, reading those types of books is actually considered fun. But I was so caught up in just being in reality for so long that my brain really never had a chance to officially break away from it. So I said, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break. I'm going to listen to audiobooks I know are fun. I'm going to read books I know I'm going to have more fun reading. Now, I know not all fiction books are considered fun books, but at least it's a step away for a moment from having to just be in reality for a while. And I know that's why I normally game. That's why I normally watch movies, is to escape reality. But even in those brief moments when I'm on break at work or something like that, I'm not really leaving work for those break moments. I'm still working on something. Now, of course, don't get me wrong. I am still reading my educational books. That's non-negotiable. I have to get those facts and I have to get that information in at some point. And that's not going to go away. But having a little bit of reprieve from that in book form is pretty good. I think I needed that a little bit. So reading through Dune, maybe I'll read Starship Troopers again. I've read through Starship Troopers like 20 times already, bro. What's your point? I think you read it more times than people have read it in general. Everyone's a critic. But anyway, I might read through Lord of the Rings again, from start to finish. I'll even include The Hobbit and some of the Silmarillion. I'd have to ask my dad to borrow that one, though, because my dad has that, I think. I want to try Song of Ice and Fire, but I know that'd be a huge time commitment with how epic those books are. Might read through some Stephen King. I love The Stand. I think that's my favorite book he ever wrote, but I don't think I can commit to reading something that long. Not again, at least. Not for a while. Maybe I can read... I haven't read The Dark Tower yet. I already know how it all plays out, but I could probably read through that. My friends love The Dark Tower. It's like... Apparently people say it's like his version of Lord of the Rings, even though I always thought The Stand was Stephen King's Lord of the Rings. And other books. I'm going to have to look up some fun books to read. Or just some quality books, because I read all of George Orwell stuff. Those aren't really fun, but they are quality books, so I already read those. I actually read that, I forget what it was called. This was a while ago, that's why I'm struggling to remember. But it was George R.R. Martin's science fiction horror novel that they turned into a TV series. I forget what it was called. I liked it, I remember really enjoying it, but I don't remember what it was called. I can read some of the author who wrote The Outsiders. I probably want to read through their other works, because I know The Outsiders was just one and they wrote more than just that. And apparently, I think the writers, he wrote a novel called Rumblefish, which apparently the movie was pretty good. I haven't seen it yet. And then there was another one that was turned into a movie that wasn't as acclaimed, but the book, still going to give it a try. Those are good young adult books. And maybe one day I'll read Gone with the Wind, thinking of The Outsiders. That Outsiders book was really good. I really loved that book. I forgot how much I enjoyed that. And the movie wasn't half bad either. I watched both versions. I know the original cut isn't considered the best. I still enjoyed it when I saw it. I saw that before I read the book, and then I read the book, and then I saw the complete novel version, and I was like, yeah, that's actually much better. So, like I said, I'm going through all the Dune books. My mom actually got me every single one, all the Dune books for Christmas one year, because I wanted to read through them before the movie came out. Now, obviously, it didn't happen, but At least I have them. At least I know I can read through them whenever I need to. Jerky is acting up. Or she's acting suspicious. As she does. But anyway. So what are the plans? Tomorrow I have a day off. Thankfully, I can't stress how happy I am to have a day off tomorrow. And then I'm going to try and go to some retro game stores. That'd be a lot of fun, don't you think? Don't know if I'd get anything, but it'd just be fun to be in that type of environment, just to see some old games. I know retro is considered, like, the definition of retro has kind of changed a lot. Even PS3 is technically considered retro because that was 2 generations ago. That's wild, isn't it? Because I kind of think of it as like the PS3 was 2 generations ago, and the Nintendo 64 was 2 generations before the PS3. So kind of makes things, but technology is advancing so quickly now that it's kind of insane to think about. But outside of that, there are some PS3 games I do want to get. I want to get the Castlevania Lords of the Shadow games. I want to see if what place has that Ratchet & Clank collection for a price that isn't outlandish. I know why it's outlandish, because it's a very popular collection. It's in demand. And what else? I don't know, maybe some cool Super Nintendo games. Maybe I would just be like, hey, the cover of this looks really cool. I bring it home and it's a game that's enjoyable, or I bring it home and the game is terrible. Who knows? I would like to get a complete Sonic the Hedgehog collection, but that'd be a complete pain, so that's going to be a step-by-step basis. And I would like to get a official Nintendo 64 cartridge of Star Fox 64, because I lost mine. I do have it for the 3DS, so I can play whenever I want, but there's something about playing it on the Nintendo 64 that just can't be beat. I also have the downloaded version on my Wii, so I do have the game more than once, but that cartridge, man, you gotta play it on the cartridge too, because that's just epic. But I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna drink my comfort drink, drink a kombucha, and then make my supper, or drink my kombucha and make my supper at the same time, so that way I can get that all taken care of. Anyways, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.